Basically, it's
When raindrops fell down from the sky, the day you left me, an angel cried, an angel cried. Oh, she cried, an angel cried.
Hi, we are in the queue. We are very cold. Well, I am. Any words to anyone?
I have nothing to say.
We're really excited.
But my hands are shaking.
For Abby.
For Abby. No, Gabby.
For Abby, Gabby, Chloe.
For Abby. I'm so cool, dude.
Going on over. There's a new person behind the camera.
It's for Abby, you big fat white nest.
You're my dad. Boogie, boogie, boogie.
Think of that. Oh no.
Oh, bless her.
Look at all those chickens.
We're not that far advanced, love.
That's a recycling bin. No, 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 no. Oh, she just puts it on the floor. E.C. Clark.
I didn't know I had Clark twice in my name.
Nearly here.
I am cold. I'm cold. I'm very, very cold.
We've got about another 2 hours.
Yeah, I'd say like over an hour. It's crazy. Can't wait. It's gonna be so worth it.
It's ridiculous, and then they can go and have fun and eat and be warm, but no, they can laugh at us. Fucking ridiculous.
So it's raining. We've been here. We've been here for what? Over 2 hours? Like 3 hours?
Since 12:05.
Yeah, and it's what? Like it's like half three.
Quarter to 3.
Quarter to 3. We've been here for a while.
2 hours and
we're
45
we're still so far away.
And the strike shop.
The Shrek shop's closing at 4, and I want a toothless toy so bad, but it's fine. It's fine. This is our lowest moment of the day, probably.
But positive energy, Zen energy is getting us through the day.
Yeah. So.
And Charlotte's cool.
Tweet this at Gabi.
Yeah. Gary, we're probably going to meet you for probably less than 2 minutes. But hey.
Don't say that. Your video might bang, and then she'll see it, and then she'll be like,
She probably
don't
won't even remember our
disrespect.
name.
She like flies me out to Pennsylvania, and it's like, oh my god.
Imagine, I would.
Yeah, this is our lowest point, but yeah.
And we're cold and wet.
We're so cold and wet. We're under Charlotte's coop.
We'll catch you back when in cosmetics.
Bye.
See you then, my dudes. What's your hands
He's
covering
gonna,
my
I'm
face?
about
he's
to
like,
click.
gonna do the
Why?
Penny's not on 2. Just do
Okay.
it.
3, 2, 1.
Okay, we'll just do one photo.
I can say Colin. And then
No way, dude.
Step back! Daddy, we love you!
Oh my god.
Daddy!
What did she say?
She's coming back.
Oh, thank god. Oh my god.
And your camera's
Wait.
Did we just look wonderful?
Are you eating?
Oh my
No, you just need to look.
Okay.
There you go.
Wow.
We made it.
One thing we
look
did
at all this.
see was this.
Yeah.
Wow.
What have you? Ending the day in Itsu.
Best thing to come out today.
It's my new fave place where we go. We'll make up the time. Yeah, this is mine now. I did say in a comment section that I would make a film, so here I am, giving Penny's subscribers some content.
Netflix film.
Yeah. But they'll never see me because I'm always behind the camera.
That's the key.
Okay, good. So we'll see you in a few minutes.
Dory, and he goes, ooh, wait, oh no, ooh, oh,
Did it take off?
you know what I mean? He does that, and he goes, ooh.
Yeah, it's like, oh my god, let me check. Oh,
The world's most, what is it? The world's best pair of glasses or something. He's like, ooh.
And then there's, what's the whale called, the female one?
Destiny.
Yeah.
And she
It's
can't
like,
see
Dory.
anything. Dory, you're going the wrong way. Gotta take a left.
Now approaching Nuneaton.
When leaving us here, make sure you have all your luggage and belongings with you. And please
Guys,
mind the
there's a bit of
step down to the
context to this.
platform.
Oh my god, is he outside?
He's finally getting on. He's sitting right there.
She's gonna come by and just be like, you're the reason I couldn't get on the train. Your email's so long.
Right, we'll catch you back in the taxi.
Hi, so I wanted to come on and basically explain the situation to you because obviously that video doesn't explain it. But I just wanted to come on here and really explain to you how badly we were treated and how terrible the staff were and just how upsetting the whole day turned out to be. So, my friends and I woke up at 5:45 in the morning. There's only 6 o'clock in the day. It wasn't fun, but you know, it was going to be worth it. To get a bus at 7 to get into town for our train that came at 9:20. Our train was 3 hours. It took 3 hours to get to London because we live up north. So from Liverpool to London, that is a big trip. So we got on the train and we were very, very excited. Charlotte and I did our makeup, you know, we were like, oh my god, we're gonna look so cute. And we were, you know, really, really excited for the day because we had a whole itinerary of what we were going to do after we met Gabby. Because it was Sunday, everything closed at 6, or the place I wanted to go to closed at 4. But it was fine because the meet and greet was meant to end at 2:30. We were going to have loads of time, you know, it was going to be great. So everyone had their places they wanted to go to, especially because Adam doesn't even know who Gabby is, he just came along. So obviously we wanted to go to places he wanted to go to because trust me, he did not want to stand in line for that long to meet someone he doesn't even know. So bless his little heart, that was really nice of him to come along anyway. We got into Euston Station, I would say, I think it was 11:20. So we were like, okay, we still have loads of time, you know, we still have like 2 hours until it starts. So then we got to the location, I think at 11:20, and oh my days, the line was already at the main road. So you know, Carnaby Street, it's quite narrow and then it like turns and then there's like the main road. Yeah, we were at the main road and we were like, oh my god, this can't be the queue. It was. I think everyone underestimated just how popular Gabby is in the UK because she's never been before, and I think you forget because people are online creators, you forget actually, you know, how many people watch them because you can, you know, you see the amount of subscribers, you see the amount of views she gets, but I think all in all you just genuinely like don't process actually how many people watch her. Just after we arrived, the Too Faced staff came out and they put a barrier in front of us and they were like, yeah, sorry, you're not going to meet her today. And my heart dropped and my eyes started watering and I said to them, actually, you put the barrier where we were standing. We moved back so that you could put the barrier there. Technically, we were on the barrier or in front of it, and I got a 3-hour train journey today. I am not meeting her. And trust me, I am not a very not controversial, confrontational person. It's my biggest fear. So, but I was just so excited and I was like, no way did I get a train to London to not meet her, because I've been to London before, you know, I've seen the sights, I don't care about the sightseeing or anything. So I was like, no. And they were like, oh, fine. So they let us go in front, luckily, and they gave the people behind us free mascaras as if that was gonna make up for not meeting your like favorite person on the internet, you know. I couldn't even look at the people behind me because I felt bad because I got in front of and they didn't, but I had to do it for myself, you know. Sometimes you have to be selfish. I couldn't even look at them. I felt so bad, but at the end of the day, sometimes you've just got to do what you gotta do. Then they went back, and then they came out again because those people were tweeting Gabby saying like, what the hell is this about? And then they took the barrier away and they were like fine, because I don't think they expected any more people to show up, which they did. So the queue went on and on. We got hot drinks because it was absolutely freezing. And we were very excited, you know. We were, you know, as you can tell in the videos, we were being really annoying and just having a good time. It started raining, which was fine because, you know, it would have been worth it. Oh my god, we stood in this queue for so long. It wouldn't move for ages, and then every so now and again you would take a big step, like a bit of a walk forward, because I think they sent you in big groups. And then Adam decided to go walk down the line and see what was actually happening at the Too Faced shop. And basically when you got there, it was just like there was rails, but there was no, like, not rails, but like, you know, like airport barrier things that yeah, there was them. But he said there was no like organization, so there was like big mobs standing outside the shop, and then when they would open the door they would like push and shove to get in. So that's why in the queue you would stand for ages and then you would walk, because these massive groups of people would just like shove and push each other to get into the shop, which was just really not organised well at all. And then he walked down the line and he said there were still people standing where we were at the beginning. So I was like, oh my god, this queue is never ending. It was meant to finish at 2:30. It didn't. It carried on, and the rain got worse and worse and worse, and it got colder, obviously, because you were wet. My friend Charlotte didn't have a waterproof coat, so it was just terrible. But then they decided, I think probably an hour before it all ended, oh yeah, let's give them some umbrellas. So we got umbrellas, but then it was windy, and umbrellas and wind don't work. And then it was raining. It started to get dark because it was like 4:30. It was just terrible. There was no heads up from the Too Faced staff whatsoever. You know, if they came out and they would have said, look, I'm really sorry, like, you're not going to meet her, this is getting really out of hand, I would have been upset, but I would have been more, and I would have been disappointed, but I would have been okay because I would have had the rest of the day to do stuff, especially because it's Sunday. But no, there was no word from Too Faced staff ever. They just gave out umbrellas and then they walked back in, and they didn't say anything about, oh, you know, you might not be able to meet her. There was no communication, nothing at all whatsoever, which I think is absolutely appalling, because I stood in the rain for 4.5 hours with my 2 best friends. We needed communication because we wasted a whole day standing in line for no reason. And I'm not blaming Gabby at all. This wasn't her fault. She didn't expect this many people to show up. She was trying her best. She was tweeting saying, no, I'm going to meet everyone. We got to the store next to the Too Faced store, so we were so close. And it was like, oh my god, this is finally happening after 4.5 hours in the rain and the cold and now the dark. But then she just walked out, and she walked down the line, and the Too Faced staff, as you can tell from the video, were going, move out the way, move back, which is fair enough because obviously you don't want to get mobbed. But so she walked down, she was like, hi, and then she, as you can see in the video, she said that she's going to come back, but then she didn't. She just walked. I think she got shoved into like a car and she had to go home, back to her hotel. Which is fair enough because obviously there was so many people there. I could see in her eyes she looked absolutely terrified, overwhelmed, anxious. I would have been if that many people showed up and were screaming like that, because as an online person you don't expect that. You're not, as anyone, I think no one is prepared for that amount of people to be like that around you. So we waited outside the shop for like another 10 minutes and she didn't come back. And then the Too Faced staff, they were like letting people into the shop. We thought they were giving out free stuff to like compensate for our absolute devastation, but they didn't. They just let 10 people into the shop to like open the shop, and it was like, yeah, as if we want to buy stuff from you after treating us like that for 4.5 hours, maybe even like probably more for some people, like 5 hours. And then they grabbed Charlotte and dragged her in the shop, and Charlotte was like, no, can I bring my friend in? And they were like, no, and they pushed her out of the way. And then Charlotte was like, actually, I don't want to go in. So then they pushed her out, literally grabbed her and pushed her out of the shop aggressively, which is really uncalled for. It didn't hit me because obviously we were still there, but when we walked away, obviously we were talking about it and we were angry, and then I just like burst into tears because I think she has got me through some dark shit, you know. Gabby has really helped me get through some really hard times. Still does. Like, she's such a positive light in my life. I know that sounds so cheesy, but she is. She got me through 2017, and I'm not gonna get into that, but she got me through some really dark times. And I think being promised that you're gonna meet someone, and I was finally gonna be able to tell her something really important to me and that I really wanted her to know, and then not being able to is literally this it's like the hardest pill to swallow. So I just like burst into tears in front of my friends, which was really embarrassing, but they were really nice. And then Adam tweeted her, I'll show you the tweet. And she replied, which was really sweet because she didn't reply to a lot of people. So for her to reply to that, it was really sweet, because you could tell like she was so upset and so devastated as well. It was 5 p.m. We had an hour to do whatever we wanted to do. I was very tired, very cold, and very upset and disappointed. I basically just wanted to end it with what happened and how absolutely appalled I am by the way we were treated. Just the whole day planned out, because then we had to get a 3-hour train home. I got home at like 1:30 in the morning, and then I had college the next day. Like, no one wants to do that. It's not Gabby's fault. I don't blame her at all, because she didn't know this many people were going to show up. I really do want to iterate that I don't blame Gabby. I still absolutely adore her. I'm just really upset that I didn't get to meet her like any other viewer would be. She said she's coming back in the summer, which is great. So I'm hoping, Gabby, if you're watching, please do more cities in the UK, aka please come to Manchester. That would be so much easier for me and so much easier for a lot of people if you did more shows in the UK around the country. That would be really appreciated, now that you know how many people have travelled to London to come see you, because I really don't want to do that again just to be let down again. Once again, I don't blame Gabby at all, and if you're watching this, Gabby, which you're probably not, I love you so much, and I can't wait for the day I finally do meet you, which might be in the summer, to tell you something that I really want to tell you, because you've helped me out so much. So yeah, on that note, goodbye, and whoever met Gabby, I'm happy for you. I'm just disappointed for myself.